Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another RGL cast. My name is Jarrett, and I'm here with Bear, and we are casting Morning Light versus Witness Gaming, both these teams' last match of the season, as we're getting ready to prepare for playoffs and the seeding of both these teams. Bear, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Ready to watch some Villa, which is the map that is going to be played tonight between both these teams. So far, we've only seen these teams play Sunshine, at least in the past, so I'm not going to get Sunshine 3 times in a row. It's going to be a nice change of pace, and it's going to be interesting to see if Morning Light is going to be able to pull out the win they need to solidify themselves a third seed, or if fate will be out of their hands and Witness Gaming take this map away from them.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Witness should not be able to make playoffs given that they have the same record. They will have the same record as Wonderwall if they do end up winning this, but they'll be down about 10 rounds won. So that's how they decide on those tiebreakers. So not this season, but it would definitely be a good end to their season to get an upset on that third or fourth seed in playoffs going into next season if they decide to stick around, which I'm hoping for.
Yep, but they still have some control over what happens in playoffs. Like I said before, if uh, Witness Gaming do win this match, the fate of Morning Light Seed will be out of their hands. It'll be up to another match that is going to be able to play tonight or some other night, but at least not this particular match when it comes to Morning Light Seed. More like themselves, they've been solidified into playoffs, either getting seed 3 or 4, and this match can kind of depend on where they land. It'll decide whether they're playing Froyotech or Corsia in the upcoming playoff matches.
Yeah, playing Froyo in the first match in playoffs is definitely not a fun feeling. I mean, I think both of us have been there enough times to know that it's a very sad way to start playoffs because Banny in playoffs is not going to let you get away with anything silly. Whereas playing against Corja, they're a newer team. They might let you take a map or maybe even upset them. So definitely going
Especially
to be.
because
Oh,
Morning Light themselves have beaten Corsi before in a previous Metalworks match this season, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sure that that's definitely what they're hoping for, to be able to solidify themselves as a third seed and make sure that that is going to be their first opponent rather than Froyotech, who they have not yet beat this season quite yet.
yeah, for sure.
You can see the rosters up on the screen if you were a little bit new to watching the games this season, getting ready for playoffs. I'll go over the Morning Light roster. As if you'll notice, Sandblast is no longer with the team. They've picked up Kev, and Alpha is still playing Scout. Dingo and Soapy will be roaming. Saya's on demo, and Azen is on Medic.
Yep, and then on the other side, on Witness Gaming, we've got, well, actually, I think the graphics on screen are not quite accurate because there's a little bit of a roster swap mid-season, but originally the roster was Yosh on Combo Scout, Smiles on Flank Scout, Walrex on Roamer, Rio, Pocket, Sin Karma Demo, and then with Virgil on Medic, but they've since made a couple of adjustments, first swapping Yosh onto Combo Scout, and then ending up swapping him onto Pocket Soldier now. So we see Rio switching from soldier to scout, which he played last season and he's very proficient at. So that'll be an interesting change up. I'm not sure if Yosh has even played a match on this map yet on soldier, but definitely a weird map on soldier because you need a lot of jumps to get around. It's such a big open map, so it'll be a good test to see if his soldier skills are up to snuff. Being a scout main, it might be a hard transition playing this wacky new map that you haven't really played in pugs or anything like that.
True. It's seen in the past that Yosh being able to play soldier has given him some opportunities to do some off classing. He's a very proficient sniper player, and it definitely gives him some room to be able to play that without like gimping his team and not having two scouts or anything like that. So worst case scenario, he has something to fall back on if things aren't exactly what he wants to happen when it comes to his performance on this map. But who knows? Could go into the first couple of mids and he could start pounding. So only time will tell how a Witness Gaming have prepared and how will each of the players will do against Morning Light. So far, Morning Light has won both the matches on Sunshine. Like I said previously, the matches were on. So who knows? Maybe with this map choice in Villa, we might be seeing something a little bit different today.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, Kev on Combo Scout should be cool to see versus this team. I haven't really seen him play too much Combo Scout in the past. He's usually played Flank Scout, but the last match that I did cast about him the other day, he pretty much pounded. He was playing very well. So I think Kev's going into this trying to warm up for playoffs, get that solidified third seed instead of fourth seed. So I think those guys are definitely trying to get that win out, and I'm excited to see. Do you have any predictions? Do you think? I don't know if I want to make a prediction. I want to see what you think first.
I think there's some potential for this to be somewhat of a close match. You know, Morning Light have taken games in the past against this team, but this is Witness Gaming's map pick. I'm sure they're pretty comfortable on it. You also have to keep in mind that Morning Light has recently changed their combo scout, like you mentioned, so definitely have to get used to some synergy issues that might appear. So that might give Witness Gaming a little bit of an edge to punish some mistakes they might see. So I think overall it'll be a close game. I kind of feel like Morning Light can maybe take this, but if they do, it's going to be like a 5-4. I kind of feel like Witness Game is going to be in the driver's seat at the very beginning of the match, though.
I'm gonna give it the opposite way, 5-4. I believe in my boys on Witness Gaming. I think Sin Karma's gonna go crazy with some air pipes and stuff like that. We saw a crazy air pipe in pregame before the cast started. Yeah, I think they've got it going.
And the classic pregame air shots definitely telling a tale on who's super duper prepared. And Sin Karma's definitely fired up. He's got his DM all warmed up, hitting what he needs to hit. But question is who will hit their shots when it matters the most when the match starts, which is happening right now. Everyone buckle up for the last match of the regular season, gearing into playoffs. Witness Gaming versus Morning Light here on Villa. Normal rollout, at least so far, and nothing too unstandard you would expect coming from teams going into the first mid-fight. You can do a little bit of a different roll-up, but it appears like both demos are going to be going towards Choke right now, trying to do the best they can to apply early pressure. Sin getting very, very aggressive, very confident he's not going to get pressure, but the scouts see that and try to push him back the best they can. Immediately, Soldier Bomb coming up to try to clean him up. They're not going to be able to find anything except Virgil, which is good for them, but they have to make sure they're able to make sure that their medic stays alive. I think Morning Light have decided they just want to cut their losses. Alpha's going to get left out to dry. Able to clean up one kill, not expecting that too much as they seem to be splitting up a little bit, trying to get onto A's in the best they can. Going to be unsuccessful as Sai cleans up that kill in back of a scratch fight. Coming in found Alpha versus the opposing Blue Scout and Rio. Very, very low, but Rio's going to be able to come up and help him at the very last second. Kev getting Sin and Rio and Yosh last-ditch effort to see if they can get the red medic, but they'll be ultimately unsuccessful, and Morning Light will take this first mid.
Good cleanup from Kev there. Those bombs, the soldiers landed on top of Virgil. If two soldiers land on you as a med and just fly you up in the air, there's nothing you can do. She was at like 20 health and just cratered. So great aggression coming out of Dingo and Soapy with those huge high bombs, really setting a standard for these mids. I would like to see Walrex and Yosh do something similar like that, because it's definitely a viable strat on this map, I'd say.
Yep, gonna have to change up their mids when it comes to it, but for now we have a last push that's gonna be coming in through Shutter. Immediately pop through side, launching himself into there, trying to find enemy gamers. Able to find Walrex a little bit, not quite finding a kill. Meanwhile, Gun on the other side of the map, preventing things from happening from Morning Light. Able to get a little bit of presence on the left side, and a little bit of damage, but no kills quite yet. A lot of cap time though. It's gonna require Witness Gaming to pile as many bodies on the point as they can, but because they are so weak from getting on the point, it's just kill after kill after kill, and Morning Light takes the first round.
Tough there. Virgil was at about 90%. She was trying to squeeze out that Uber, but not really much you can do there when the cap time goes off. So let's see how this mid differs. Maybe we'll see some aggressive soldier plays or scout presence up top early. Doesn't look like anything else is happening too far. Just some spam going on.
A good soldier initiation, trying to take care of the high ground. Seems like Witness Gaming have kind of changed up the pace of their mid, definitely playing much more aggressively, able to kill the soldiers very early on and practically shove themselves out, but no, a repeat! Virgil once again dies despite them taking the map presence, so it looks like they'll win the mid this time, but not able to protect their medic. Meanwhile, Azen is out of there.
Azen's just sitting pretty all the way back at his own choke. He knows if he lives this mid, they'll be able to repush, take second, so, you know, gotta take the losses that you can. So are they going to be able to defend second? I don't know if Witness Gaming are going to do much here, because it's full Uber disadvantage. Their medic's not even up with them. I think they're just going to have to give this up.
Yep, no heals for the blue team means things are a little bit sketchy, especially when your Demo Man's half HP. Red, Soldier Initiation trying to clean up Walrex down to 5 HP. Barely able to get out Yosh, not going to be quite as lucky as Kev is able to clean him up. Never mind, Walrex falling at the very last second. Last minute rocket coming through. Got to be careful about these traps on the wall as Red team tries to work their way in. Dingo doing the best he can to clear it, but the flank's making enough pressure to allow them to use this two-player advantage to not even get in, but Soapy finding a third in this books area and creating even more chaos, getting behind the enemy team as they try to roll their way through with this Uber advantage, working their way into lobby, cutting the blue team, going all the way behind.
Going forward.
They're not able to find too much yet.
Oh no, they got completely cut off by that Uber. That was disastrous. They tried to defend second, but they ended up losing 2 people and then lost another person on mid. And what are you going to do when you're down 3? That you just get wiped by that crazy Uber. So that's going to be another round. Unless Smiles is heavy, can get a 6K around this corner. He's trying for it, but not quite.
Yeah, very nice heads-up play from Morning Light, only losing their demo there and pretty much wiping the entirety of the blue team. Witness Gaming had nowhere really to go, so they're going to have to focus on these mids, make sure they can play at a pace where Aizen's not having his Uber at the very end of it. So far, they've made some small adjustments to make them start off the mids very well, but they need to make sure that Virgil stays alive, so we'll have to see if they're able to do it this time, Bear.
Sin Karma's so aggressive on the point, getting that spam off, but he didn't really hit anyone, just took the presence and took some damage. Early spam coming off both teams, not really anything coming on now. Although Dingo bombs in, huge jump on a Sin, gets a lot of damage, although no trades really happening too far. And Rio in the back line gets a kill onto Dingo. And the medics are going down? This is very chaotic. It looks like Aizen gets caught out, and now can they protect Virgil? No, no one's gonna get on her, so that was so chaotic that even the casters, I wasn't sure what the heck was going on. So I guess that's the key to winning a mid for Witness Gaming. They just need to have all these different fights going on in the back lines.
I think Witness Gaming have finally figured out the things they need to do to make sure they don't have to worry about any counter initiation coming out of the red team and make sure that Virgil can stay alive. But they're not out of the woods yet. They may have won the mid this time, but there's mids in the future, and they still have to get this last push going in. Do have a spy on Alpha. Let's see where his position is.
I think he's just checking classes, isn't he? No, he's actually on the back lines. Yeah, he's getting ready to decloak. Oh, he's coming up to Virgil. Can he get the backstab? Oh, Rio sees him, read him like a book. So that's an early pick coming into last, but Rio died to a sticky trap.
Sai popped into the air though. Gotta be kind of careful. Lands on the sign. Not quite with his team, even though he's half health, but it's not gonna be too much in terms of him being threatened until the last minute. A lot of blue aggression coming in, trying to find presence on the point, but they're not gonna be too successful, losing their medic. 2 people left alive versus the 5. They got a very nice shot from Walrex, but ultimately, I don't know if it's gonna be quite enough. Sin Karma's the only one really there left in lobby as Rio is rolling out from dying to the trap much earlier. And Sin Karma might be a very, very late death here. He's not able to take anyone with the grave with him, so unfortunate for Witness Gaming. They dropped the player in, not able to find the kills they need. Actually, Rio, last second, may be able to find Sai in this lobby. Not quite though, Sai living on 23 HP. A little bit of chaos, it's gonna slow down the second cap just a tad, but not quite enough. Still goes down. Trying to chase down these players. Dingo caught up in the air. Low HP is gonna get cleaned up. A lot of presence in lobby, spamming all these doors at different times. Gonna expend a little bit of their health, but not quite dying. That's gonna be the red soldiers down there.
Yeah, they should be able to take this into a last push. Rio's barreling in through the far right side. 2 soldiers down. This is a great opportunity to get on last, and they're trying to get in. Maybe their flank's going to go for Aizen, but it looks like Witness Gaming aren't completely going to commit, and they end up losing one. So I think this opportunity is sort of gone now.
Yeah, the longer this fight goes on, the more red will have reinforcements and respawners. Although it seemed like it was going their way at the beginning, things have kind of turned around. It seems like Witness Gaming has finally found their footing and gotten the presence they need to collect all these last-minute kills. Sai being the last one alive is unable to defend against the 3 remaining Witness Gaming players. And Witness Gaming are back in it. They got their first round on the board. Now all I have to do is try to adjust their mids to keep the train rolling if they want to be able to take this match away.
Yeah, Sin Karma got 2 sticky kills, I think was there, with the trap on the spawn, so that was a great heads-up play. And we see the next mid coming, Sai taking a lot of damage early, gonna need to get arrowed by his medic, so good damage off Sin. And the early soldier bomb's going huge, but 2 of them dying and no kills getting off. That's 3 people down already. So the tides are very much turning here. Sai guy's getting caught off. That's 4 down.
Yeah, Witness Gaming changing the mid style from the previous one they won. They basically just held S. You're gonna run into us? Okay, we're just gonna make sure we kill your soldiers first and your scouts can't catch up to us. So a whole lot of initiation coming from Morning Light is not able to find anything other than damage. So Witness Gaming in a pretty good position here. They, both teams have Uber, but a stalemate in lobby is not too unkind to them to be able to try to find a way to break in this last very slowly and surely.
Yep. Oh, I thought Virgil was lagging out there for a second. She was like standing still and her players were looking at him. But yeah, it looks like we're just going to see a double sack. I think, yeah, this team likes to do some double sacks. I would hope they don't just run a single sniper sack, because as the spectators and as someone who's played this game for a long time, it is very boring if the team does not go for a double sack. So here they come. They're doing a double sack. They get the kill onto Soapy Meister, so not even a sack, just a kill. And now they're drying into the right side, going to take the Uber exchanges out, get the Ubers out of the way. Soapy dies. but no, Smiles dies in the back line, so I don't think this is going to be much of a refight. Yosh just jumping in, trying to do it, although I guess, yeah, Witness Gaming just getting that cap time. They decided they don't care if their player died. Now they're taking this scrappy DM fight. Can they win out? It looks like the spawners for Morning Light are just coming in too fast, and luckily Virgil sneaks out there, so at least they're going to be able to hold mid or second potentially.
The chase is on, though. Players through Shutter trying to work their way into two. Clean up a potential Yosh frag. Is he able to almost jump away, but not quite. Pistol down by Alpha the last second, so gonna be a little bit of a late death and probably a spawn blocked here as Morning Light in a pretty good position. Despite it being even Ubers, they do have a soldier pick to work off of as long as they can find a way to split through these doors. Morning Light posted up at different doors. A lot of spam into books. Gonna get Kev down, and he will fall. So the player advantage that Red immediately have is no longer existing, and now the table slipped a little bit. Witness Gaming have a pick that they can work off. They have their Uber ready. There is a hole in the Morning Light defense. They just have to find it and try to work their way. But an impromptu Uber coming through from the red team into choke, only able to find wallrugs, and even still, they're not able to get the kill to the last minute.
All 1 second. Virgil and friends just came through the flank area. Now they've already capped second, and they haven't even used their Uber. They're just popping right now, and they're going to get these kills in lobby, hopefully. This is a interesting play. I think they're losing players in the back line, though. They're down 2, and they're trying to push into last, but I don't think Witness Gaming can do much here. They had the opportunity, but the Uber wasn't able to catch anything out. I thought that was going to be huge.
Free fight from Dingo, though, trying to work his way into lobby, able to collect the demo kill, but not able to find a whole lot of follow-up, as there is going to be a little bit of some splash damage coming from Yost. But the kills that they're able to collect from these attempted lobby people working their way in to try to collect kills is going to leave an opening in last for Witness Gaming to try to work their way in. 2 versus 2 left alive, but it appears that because Sai is a late respawner, he is unable to help his partner defend the last, and that will be another converted round bear. We have a tie game now, 2-2.
Woo! Let's go Witness Gaming. I'm not biased at all.
Now, one more round until the half ends. We'll have to see who's able to take this last round, and before we get to the moment where, you start talking about who is going to be making adjustments. A lot of aggression early from Sin Karma, getting some decent damage on the side, but not without taking his own himself. You have a little bit of high ground control from Witness Gaming, but not taking it for too long. They don't want to be spam magnets. A little bit of initiation coming from Yosh, and Wallrex trying to get some more decent spam that's a little bit more aggressive. Make sure they don't commit too far with their lives. Yosh committing forward, but it's going to be Sin Karma, the one that dies. Counter initiation from the red team as blue team tries to regress, able to collect the kills they need. Only 2 people left alive. Smiles, 8 HP, gonna lose his fight. Yosh popped into the air,
Alpha.
and it seems like the counter initiation from Morning Light was there and successful to make sure they got the kills they needed and keep their medic alive for this mid fight and second recap and potential last push.
Alpha went huge that middle. He waited until no one was looking and snuck in underneath, 2-shot the demo, and then killed the medic, and then killed the scout on him, the 3K with no heals. So that was a huge game-changing play that mid that definitely won them that. I think they should be winning this round off this last push unless anything goes wrong.
No sentry gun for the blue team. They're deciding to go with heavy and a sniper this time. So Morning Light doing a little bit of spotting, figuring out which way they want to go. They decided to go into the shutter door, trying to find their way onto the soldier. Are able to collect Yosh, not quite Walrux, but they're going to lose one in turn. Able to collect Rio as the blue team circles away over towards the right half of the map. Soldier's going to trade on the other side, and with this heavy still existing though, it's going to be a little bit tough. They have to make sure they initiate the same time as Sai, jumping in and collecting the medic frag. Now they can take this as slow as they need to be able to collect this heavy and this last Delman left alive. Sin Karma able to collect Kev though. So far it's a 1v2 and blue reinforcements coming into the spawn. Sin just has to live and defend the point for as long as possible. He dies, but he's able to successfully defend it, as that is going to be a full wipe actually coming from both teams. It's just reinforcements now, but obviously the blue team with their spawn right there are going to be able to hold this in time. Very, very scrappy, but frags might not end for now. Sophie getting chased a little bit, able to successfully get out of the way. We have a scout hiding in the corner, going to get spotted, working his way into the lobby, trying to create some chaos, but people are at last. He might get cleaned up if he's not too careful. They're going back, and it's creating chaos, though. The kill goes out behind, but initiation coming from the soldiers are able to work their way onto the point, but they're not able to find anything.
3 down.
3 down, going to be a play unsuccessful, and that is going to be a very nice opening for Witness Gaming to work their way into mid and take it, and then maybe even 2, depending.
Yeah, great stuff there. Alpha was trying to go behind, and he told his team to sack for him on second, but if you don't get the backup, that's just a suicide. So Witness Gaming taking this player advantage into second. I don't think it should be an Uber advantage, but it does look like Virgil's building a little bit better, and although 2 people go behind Rio and Yosh trying to get the kill onto the medic, they don't end up killing Azen. And now it's 2 people down. Oh, and Virgil dies to Dingo on the back lines. That is so unfortunate. She was 96% Uber.
The
Not
Dingo
quite get it.
salvage. Oh, not able to quite get the third. Gets a nice rock on the scout and the air shot on the medic. Not able to kill Sin Karma, but Kev will clean him up. So nice play coming out there, salvaging things for their team as they have their full Uber advantage, trying to work their way into mid. They don't have a soldier. Actually, both soldiers are not quite with them, but they're still trying to poke around. They know that Witness Gaming is not really quite here yet. Yosh on sniper might go for a quick pick in the fountain. If they're not too careful, they could lose someone. They're taking their shot though, and now they know of the sniper presence. Not able to find the kill they need, and Morning Light, they have this Uber ad, but they have to be careful about the sniper. It might cause them to take this in a way. It might be a little bit careful and precarious for them. They Uber in very early, making sure they're not able to drop anyone. So we might start getting in very, very aggressively, able to kill Walrus, but not without losing his life in the process. Both teams down one soldier. Witness
Big
Gaming,
wall wreck.
because of the sniper, it looks like they will not go ahead and go for a post-fight and just go ahead and swap off and use their Uber advantage to work their way back through lobby and to when they get it, most likely.
Yeah, 40% ad. This should be a push out of last, although they've got to watch for those sneaky back caps. There's all these little nooks and crannies you can slip through to get those back caps. And it looks like Rio and Virgil are sort of just going lone wolf through bats with no one else, and Rio dies to a sticky trap, unfortunate. So they still have about a 20-30 ad, but I think Virgil is second guessing that. I mean, down a combo scout, your Uber's going to be pretty trash, so it's not really worth using your little slim ad at that point. So they call it off. They're going to go back to last, and it's just going to even out.
Yeah, very much a safe call. Gonna go ahead and maybe potentially set up some sort of defense, at least get on the doors, maybe an off class too. Gonna be up to them. Gonna go with the engineer this time is their choice. No, nothing else though. So Morning Light in the driver's seat, trying to figure out how they want to break this hold. We have Dingo kind of poking around in the cellar inside, peeking top right. It's gonna be Soapy that goes in. Very, very high up in the sky, trying to find his way on the Virgil. Gets Sin very low, but not going to go for that. Going to try to go for the bigger kill, not able to find anything. Same thing with Warwick's on the other side. Tries to go for a counter sack. Able to get some damage onto Alpha, but nothing quite onto the red medic. But Dingo finds his opening, tries to work his way in, not able to hit the shot this time. Virgil landing near the cellar, but no one's really there. Seems like, for now, it's just sack for sack that is not really leading to a whole lot of kills. A lot of damage, though. A lot of good presence. Sin has to be very careful. He's getting very, very low, peeking the shutter. No one's really quite with him, but everything's okay for now. Things are kind of evening out. The gun's going to get rebuilt up because it was no longer... It wasn't near Virgil, I don't think, at the very beginning. So now they've kind of set up their defense in a different way. But
I loved that bomb that Soapy did. Alpha held the little door on the bottom, the little main door, and Soapy just pogoed right through, and that was a huge bomb. And as I say, Soapy's doing some other crazy stuff, coming in, getting a pick on a Walrex, and their team should just be making some room on the flank, getting in off this pick. Although Alpha gets caught in, I think he thought his team was going to get a little bit deeper than they were, so that's just going to be the regular trades that we might see a counter as we've seen before, and I think Soapy's thinking about it, but nothing happening really right now. I think Alpha might be going sniper or spy now. Oh, here he is. He's on spy, although I'm not sure he's going to walk out yet. He was checking, I believe, and now he's on sniper. So now we see some classic Alpha Fortress 2 with that big sniper rifle.
Gonna be a little bit of an SCS versus Alpha and Yosh as they begin to work their way inside the lobby, and we'll just see what they can see. I think both teams by now know of each other's business, and especially so as Alpha is gonna take the first fall and Yosh collects the kill. So a little bit of an opening for some sort of counter sack. Waller trying to work his way onto Soapy. Soapy's not going to be able to find his way onto the health pack and is going to fall. Yosh going for a very ballsy peek, and a lot of people on the blue team are getting very, very weak. They've taken lobby, but not without expending their own health, and Morning Light have not even quite left. Rio might get left out to dry, and it seems that he is going to also fall. So what was going to be a simple counter sack has kind of collapsed at this moment. So now Morning Light working their way through the cellar, trying to work their way through onto the engineer, getting him very low, able to collect that kill, and now onto the medic. Virgil is popping, but the gun has not quite died. Will finally fall, so there's a little bit of some room here. Sai getting very, very low. Waller's trying to do the best he can to corral this team over towards the shutter doors. Scout presence on the point, while Witness Gaming have to be very, very careful to make sure they're able to defend it. A lot of soldier initiation. No scouts on the team for Morning Light, so they have to be very careful about them being able to collect kills, and I think Soapy is just going to cause a distraction to allow his teammates to leave. Although they haven't left that far. They've stayed in the lobby a little bit. Unsurprising, collecting one kill, very, very heads-up play to delay your retreat to make sure you collect a kill there. And actually, the presence in the lobby is staying.
They might get wrapped. Yeah, it looks like they're going to get wrapped to last. Look, Witness Gaming were trying to push out to 2. I don't know what off of. They didn't really have any number ad or player ad or Uber ad or really anything, but and now they're all dead, so that looks like it's the round. That was very weird. Rio dies to a sticky trap, and I was going to comment about how he keeps dying to these traps. and I assumed that would kill their momentum, but somehow Smiles was already on the point, and the team was just too committed.
Yeah, I think they just saw no one and thought that, oh, if we don't see anyone, maybe we can peek out even more and see how much room they're giving us. But you didn't see them because they were on the other half of lobby. They have to be very, very careful when you don't have your enough players alive to be able to spot all the doorways. And it seems like there's a lot of wraps happening, at least on this match so far. We have the stats up on the screen right now, as you can kind of see what is going on. Kev leading the kills, collecting 21 and having 8 deaths. So very, very good showing from him, despite it being a very, very close game. Bear, what else do you see coming out of the stats here?
Sigh. We got the Cheeto. He's 19-5 with 313 DPM. Him and Dingo are absolutely pounding. Last match I casted, Dingo was pounding too, but he's now top damaging, which is very not expected from, a roamery type of pocket soldier who doesn't really take too many heals. So Dingo and Sai are really doing a lot of damage here, and both of the scouts on Morning Light are doing a lot of work as well. Alpha not having too many kills, but his presence on those mids that they did win certainly won them those mids, and he's been having those heads up plays that are winning them the fights. So I would say definitely the demo on Morning Light, and then Dingo, and then the scouts are just doing terrifically. I mean, everyone on Witness Gaming seems to be doing, around the same, no real star performances. I mean, Sin 9 for 9, respectable, but nothing really outstanding on that front.
Yep, it's interesting to think about that morning light stats definitely look more pretty if you think about it, but at the same time, it's only 3-2. It's a very, very close game, could go either way. Witness Gaming is definitely pulling up a very nice performance despite the stats not necessarily showing anything very glorious for them. And I think that just kind of shows that when Witness Gaming wins, they win hard. It's not a very slow, gruesome fight that gives them a lot of damage. They just take point after point or the wrap kills that are given to them. So they're not out of this quite yet, despite the log kind of being in favor of Morning Light so far. Right
Yep, I
now,
think I think the medics are another log that's important to look at that I sort of glossed over. 5 deaths from Azen, 9 deaths from Virgil. The deaths are a pretty important indicator of how well you're doing on medic. I mean, if you have the same amount of deaths as the enemy med, that's probably good, but having almost double, I mean, 9 versus 5, that's definitely not a good sign. So I think in a lot of these scrappy fights, Virgil's been going down. Most of the mid fights, she's been going down. So that is definitely an indicator that they need to fix their mids and make sure Virgil starts living.
yep, so far the moons have been a little bit back and forth. Both teams have been making adjustments in the pace that they've been playing and also preparing for what the enemy team might throw at them. So whoever shows up at the top when it comes to the second half mid fights here is yet to be seen. I'm not really sure what we're going to be finding, if it's going to be even as normal or if one team is finally going to figure out what they need to change for the long run to make sure that they win mids more consistently. And honestly, because the deficit between rounds is only 1, if you show out in the second half with a very dominant performance, that's it. You take the lead and probably the game here. It's not like, oh, you did bad in the first half and you can't just be even in the second half. No, you're both teams are at even footing here. So a strong, very strong performance in the very beginning of the second half could seal the deal here.
Yeah, these stats definitely make it look like it's a very one-sided match, but I think all these scrappy fights just go to show that whichever team happens to be playing a little bit better, whoever hits their shots, whoever's a little bit more coordinated is going to be winning these rounds. So I'm very excited to see how this pans out. I was also looking at these stats trying to, get some information out of him, and I noticed Dingo has 243 heals per minute on Pocket, but is doing 328 damage per minute, which is a pretty huge differential. Side taking 313 and dealing 313 in terms of heals versus damage. But Dingo, I think, despite having like his fractured or broken shoulder that he was talking about in pregame, is absolutely pounding. So definitely, I would say he's the MVP. Just like looking at stats wise, I mean, he's making so much damage. He might not have very many kills, but Scout class exists, and Kev seems to be getting that 21 kills, getting all that cleanup. So yeah, if he continues playing like that in the second half, and they can figure out their soldier bombs and make sure that they don't get completely pulverized like they did that one mid, I think they should definitely be able to have a handy lead in this match. But I want to see more rap plays. That rap was so hype. Watching that hype through that the rap through what's the area called? The little fountain area? Yeah, that was definitely not anything I've seen in an invite match. Like maybe the fruit vendors back in like ESEA season 8 or whatever, but raps don't happen very often, so that was very cool to see.
Yeah, I think both teams had the same idea of wanting to go for a very impromptu like Uber exchange by taking the initiative, but they just chose different doors, and one team was a little bit more skillful at executing them going into the next point and not taking a long while to use. I think because they met resistance at mid and were forced to use and chase people around, it allowed Witness Gaming to be able to go behind and just start that back cap. So you got to be careful though, because Morning Light have done it too. Remember that we just saw at the end of this round they lingered in lobby and were able to collect a lot of kills and wrap all the way to last as well. So both teams definitely showing that they're able to make some plays at the last minute, whether it be their combo or their flank or whoever, to work their way around and do some unexpected stuff to get some back cap plays or wrapping the entire team. So it's going to be kind of interesting how both teams address that situation. They've both been on both ends of it, and finding ways to continue those plays happening for your own team while also preventing them happening to yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to comment that I think Sandblast's spirit lives on with some of these crazy Ubers, like that one morning light Uber where they just barreled through the books area and wiped the entire enemy team. I could see that was exactly something Sandblast would have called. So, his spirit's not gone.
It's always nice that when you make a roster change, your playstyle doesn't change too much. So I'm sure Morning Light is happy with how they've been playing at least so far. I mean, I'm sure that you want to make sure you win matches as cleanly as possible. But when you make changes, you can expect some bumps. So I'm sure that they'll be able to at least mentally manage with how close this match is and just do the best they can to make the adjustments they need to have an honest attempt at trying to flip things around and having a more dominant second half performance, because it's for them that matters much more. Like we said before, Witness Gaming,
For
they're out
sure.
of playoffs. They're just helping playing their last match and deciding what seed Morning Light will get. Morning Light, they still have a whole playoffs ahead of them, and winning this match completely solidifies them as a third seed. But if they lose, it's out of their hands, and they could get fourth. So definitely on them to make the adjustments to try to see if they can do the best they can to ultimately end up victorious.
Yeah, they started out very dominant with those middles. I mean, the huge soldier pressure coming out from Dingo, but I think Witness Gaming sort of had their number by the end of it. They were really ready for those soldier bombs. Virgil was jumping around, dancing, dodging those rockets, and the soldier just got totally shut down. So I think both teams will definitely be rethinking their strategy for mid, maybe going for some unorthodox flank plays or something like that. But yeah, it'll be cool to see. I want to see, as boring as it is to watch, I want to see the Yosh versus Alpha again because it's just funny for me. My two like longtime flank scout teammate sniper mains. See who's the dominant sniper main. It's a good rivalry.
And I wouldn't be too surprised to see it again, even though Yoshi's on Soldier. And like I said before, despite him being on Pocket, I think because Walrus is roaming,
Yeah.
he'll still be bound to play Sniper nonetheless. So it should be interesting to see. And honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it happen in the second half, like at least one more time. So
Oh yeah,
you'll
for
you'll
sure.
probably get your wish granted to you.
I suppose it's like a reversing of what happened way back in the olden days. I'm gonna sound like an archaeologist talking about this, but XTS Alpha, back when he was playing Pocket for that team with Rando and Bononsky, he would just play sniper all the time. So I guess sniper mains turned scout mains playing Pocket is not too unheard of, and it's worked in the past. I mean, that team went, I think, undefeated in Invite, although they ended up losing in playoffs.
Hey, I
So
mean, if you know your strengths,
anything's
you might as well
possible.
play to them,
Yep.
no matter what class you're on. If you're playing demo and you're an insane sniper, okay, maybe not that far.
Yeah, maybe that's the one exception that proves the rule,
Yeah,
and perhaps medic. Although who knows? Maybe it's possible.
maybe
Um,
on last salvage pyro plays something,
yeah.
but
Oh, the pyro play. I want to see that again. I remember Daffodil used to do that when he was on medic, but nobody really does that these days. Soapy looks like he's on 130 ping, and he's been complaining in the chat. So I think we might have a little bit of a delay on our hands. Um, doesn't not sure he wants to play with that delayed European ping.
yeah, it might take a little bit for it to go down, but hopefully not too long. I'm sure that there comes a certain point where you have to figure out some sort of plan B if you're not able to figure out your internet situation. It's not like we can just sit here for an hour doing absolutely nothing. At some point, push comes to shove, and you figure something out. But for now, we're kind of seeing if it dies down a little bit. I'm sure he's trying to make some adjustments to reset his internet or anything like that. But for now,
So what would
they
you
can make going
say?
into the second half.
Sorry for interrupting you there. I think my internet might have cut off. Speaking of the whole internet problems, I was
I think it
gonna
was
say,
mine.
maybe it was yours. Um, I was gonna say, who do you think is? Let's go over some roster comparisons. Do you think Smiles? If we're looking at flank scouts, Smiles versus Alpha. I think Alpha probably has the upper hand, but I mean, if we look at the stats, Smiles technically has better stats. I mean, he's got one more kill. But
I think Alpha definitely trumps in terms of experience. Alpha's been playing for a very, very long time. Although on this map, it might be a little bit of a different story. Because there are some particular things that, when it comes to really any class, that you have to be very prepared for map-specific things like where to stand, different routes to take, the level of
yeah,
aggression you can show in different areas of the map. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And if Smiles has shown more practice on Villa than Alpha has, then it wouldn't be too surprising to see him sometime perform better. But if you want to just talk about raw scout player, then Alpha is definitely the more experienced at the very least.
yeah, and then moving down, I think Rio has some crazy matches, but I don't think this match he's doing too crazy. I mean, he's just been dying to sticky traps over and over. Side definitely has his number, so he's 13 and 13, not really the best combo scout. Katie. On the other hand, Kev coming in from that bench, going 21 and 8. So Kev's definitely performing very well. So that'll be cool to see if he keeps that up, or maybe Witness Gaming will change something. Perhaps we'll see the Sin Karma trap god killing Kev every time, turn the tides around from Sai killing Rio. But as we say this, we're going live, so who do you want to watch this mid?
I kind of want to see how much damage Sin puts in. He's been very aggressive on these mids, trying to put his damage into Sai, not getting pressured a whole lot until the very end. Sai gonna get healed up a little bit, and meanwhile it's gonna be A's, and then immediately takes a ton of damage. Eats a pipe halfway across the map. Hail Mary soldier bombs, trying to come in and find the way onto Virgil, but only landing a little bit of damage, drop her half HP. Meanwhile, the rest of Morning Light are going to fall. Kev being the last one alive behind in the books area, just gonna hide. I don't think that Witness Gaming knows exactly where he is, but he knows he's lingering. So they're leaving two people on mid. Kev trying to find his way in to be able to collect a kill, but Walrex a little bit slow to help his scout, but it's not going to matter. A couple missed shots, and it's gonna be Kev falling. But you're right, it was a little close there.
You must be using a cheat feed. How did you know Sin Karma was about to pipe the Met on mid? That was crazy. He was exactly the player to watch.
I just saw it flying through the air. I could tell.
Yeah, you felt the aura. So we see a full Uber ad coming in. Kev died pretty late there, so this is like almost the best opportunity we could have for Witness Gaming as they come in through the cellar area.
Yeah, immediately popping in, able to find the gun and corralling the enemy team over to the right side. Sin Carnal leading the charge, walking forward towards this Heavy. It's going to be Dingo that's getting low, though. Heavy dropped to half HP, has to move backward, and meanwhile, seems like Witness Gaming a little bit slow, trying to work their presence onto the point despite the area that they've been gathered. Meanwhile, Morning Light, double soldier bomb going in, able to find some damage on the Virgil, gonna be able to find and clean up. Kev is, but not without expending his own HP, and it seems like the initiation is not quite exactly what they needed. Very, very weak players on both sides, and it seems like the corralling that Witness Gaming did to push Morning Light all the way on the other side of the map was ultimately successful.
How did they win that? I thought that they were all corralled into the corner, they had no kills, and then the double soldier bomb from Soapy and Dingo, I thought they were going to get wiped, but Sin Karma somehow pulled something out of his sleeve and just got 2 kills there, and then they ended up winning. So I'm going to watch Sin Karma again. Let's see what he can do. Pipe in any more medics.
Some good spam going across. Red players getting a little bit weak, but not too much. Height advantage coming from Witness Gaming, but not quite enough to deny Soapy. It's going to be them trying to pinch their way onto Sin Karma, who will eventually fall, and a lot of presence going onto the red team this time. But Smiles going underneath the point, able to collect 2, maybe even 3, depending. Oh, you got your demo popped up in the air, able to collect
Virgil was so low. She ate that roller and was down to like, I don't know, 10 health. That was almost that crazy side cleanup, the red through the needle. Wow, that would have been crazy, but very good cleanup. Witness Gaming is so good at responding to these soldiers and these scouts. Like, a scout was on Virgil there, and Walrex bombed back just to instantly kill Alpha and save her life. So, as I said in halftime, all they needed to do was make sure Virgil was living, and that's exactly what they've been doing. So now they have another Uber ad into last. It's 3-3. Let's see if they can turn the tides and even take this round.
Working their way towards this far right door from their perspective. Soapy can immediately jump out, trying to work their way over to the gun, able to get the dispenser, which doesn't mean much, but the gun will finally die. Meanwhile, point presence, Smiles is going to die for it. Not without collecting Dingo though, so it's going to be some good cap time in exchange for a life. A is going to die. Uber is going to be out of the question when it comes to the red team, and it's just down to their spam ability, but they're dropping like flies, although not without Witness Gaming dropping as well. Soapy 24 HP is not going to be enough to stop Rio and Virgil will cap this point, and we're reaching match point now. We talked about before in the halftime, you know, if you start out dominant, this could be very, very good in the long run of this second half here. So Witness Gaming only need one more round, and Morning Light still have some ways to go, Bear.
Rio is beasting. We have to watch him this mid. He just got a 5K. I know he's hot right now. Sin Karma is so aggressive, and he kills Psy Guy early into the mid. That's just all she wrote for that middle. I mean,
that was straight up Demo Man MGE.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you lose the Demo Man MGE, but that's just how it is. Soldier bombs into Virgil.
Disrespect. Virgil does not even care, just hitting that crazy surf, and that's a pick on a Dingo, so this should be a second point taken. Alpha maybe caught in. Oh yeah, he's gonna get the pick on a Walrex. I was hoping that the arrow would hit Walrex and save his life, but not quite. So I think it's just gonna even out even Ubers, but I mean, as far as they care, do they even need an ad? They're already up around the second half. They can just sit pretty with a Yosh sniper. Witness Gaming don't really need to do much here. I think they're pretty content with just taking mid and second off that Uber ad.
Yep, they got a lot of time on their hands to work with. They do have Walrix coming up on Spy. I'm sure Morning Light might be kind of curious why nothing is happening while they have Uber, so at some point paranoia might set in for them. Only question is when, but the Spy seems to be working his way through the cellar, so not going to be able to get spammed or anything. You have to be careful of getting bumped though immediately. Just straight into Psy. Caster's Curse. I thought it was going to be clean, but I guess not. So Spy play going to be ultimately unsuccessful as they try to work their way for a counter sack. Not going to find anything either, just 1 for 1, and it seems like that...
I hate to see it.
You know, we're back to actually working their way in really early. Have to be careful with this gun, though. They weren't really prepared for it. It still exists, and that's going to mean they can't shoot at the red players. Gonna buy a lot of time.
That is a great gun.
Yeah. Smiles, though, getting Dingo. He was like 1 HP in the spawn, able to collect that kill. Did not expect that to happen, but either way, a trade is a trade. So have to be very, very mindful about that gun if Witness Gaming want to break this last hold.
How do you even kill that gun? I guess you go all the way deep into cellar and try and spam it with both soldiers. That's pretty... Yeah, I don't know what you're going to do to deal with that. Although, I guess it doesn't really protect the medic. Like, if you jump a soldier in, he's just going to get blasted into the sky by the gun. And then maybe you can do a sync bomb onto the medic. So, I'm not sure how defensive it is, but I love the spot by Alpha.
If your team gets space left or right, then you can probably spam it if the other team's on the other half of the map, but you're not going to have that space until you have, like, So, you can kill someone that's on a door maybe, but it's going to be really, really rough to chase in very, very deep, unless you're, like, straight up going in as a soldier and, like, giving up your life for it, which, so it kind of makes sense that they're on Sniper now. It allows them to get very, very deep with their kill potential without putting themselves at risk with the gun. But Rio gonna get air shot trying to hold open the shutter for a sniper, and that's gonna be a collected kill. Soapy's gonna immediately try to go for a counter sack, but not quite find anything as Walrex is able to stuff him. So 1 for 1s across the board. The sniper's still in play. Same with the gun, not in any different position, which makes sense because it's a very, very strong spot. Sniper rotations though have to be very, very careful. Morning Light, you gotta make sure that the way you're holding doesn't allow any little bit of a slip up, because all it takes is 1 nice shot and then boom, a very important class could be gone. So we'll have to see how successful Smiles is at that, and he's able to get the engineer so they can spam out the gun without it getting repaired, although good luck getting through the door very easily. Soapy's on top of the rim, trying to do the best he can to spam it down the blue team from working their way. Dingo taking up the position to help his soldier partner out. And it does not appear that Witness Gaming is able to find a very successful way to get in deep off the pick. Sincomer trying to walk his way in to force something to happen, but once again, not able to find anything.
That door is just a non-starter. Like, you're going to need to move both your soldiers to the bottom right area in cellar and try and spam that. Otherwise, good luck.
It's very rough, though, because you're going to have a combo right below you, so as soon as it's called, you could get immediately melted. Like, you have to definitely take a very precarious approach to trying to find a way to kill the gun, and so far they're not able to find a whole lot of success, but they do have the sniper. Maybe they'll get another try if they can get the pick they need. A lot of pressure coming onto the shutter. I think they realize that the sniper is still in play. Have to be careful, make sure NG doesn't die or anything this time. Soapy's staying up on the fence to make sure he's not headshot himself as he works his way to defending this doorway. But rotations all around. If you can't work your way through one door, just try a different one. Smile's trying to take some shots, but not able to find anything quite yet. But still got a lot of time, only 3 minutes have passed, and he's able to collect and find the mark onto Dingo. The question is, how will Morning Light respond off of this pick that has been gotten onto them?
I think the bigger question is, how is Witness Gaming going to do something off this pick? They're pretty much just doing nothing. They should really be sacking a soldier in or something. I mean, Yosh is not the sniper for once in a lifetime, so they actually do have 2 soldiers. Oh, okay, as I say that, Alpha decides to peek with his shotgun on NG and dies. But they really need to make something happen off these picks. And here they go. They're trying to barrel in through that right side, but Sai is just so aggressive. Yeah, getting the kill into Sin. That was perfect stuffing out of Sai and the soldiers on red team. So nothing's happening with that Uber exchange.
Dingo air shot at spawn. That was kind of unimportant, but very, very nice. But 2 soldiers, or 2 projectile classes down for Witness Gaming, though. It's going to be kind of rough. Yosh is spawn, yeah, on the medic, not able to quite find the mark, though. So it seems like Morning Light is going to have a lot of room to be able to work their way through as long as they can keep control of the sniper.
Now, I think Witness Gaming are going to be fighting this, yeah. So Alpha way ahead of his team, going to get picked off by Sin Karma. But is Sin Karma going to die to Dingo? Potentially, although Dingo's getting chased off by Rio, so... But as we say this, the counter bait, it's all just trying to bait him into that sticky trap from Sai. So Rio goes down and Walrex on the sideline, so that's not even going to be a second hold, I don't think, from Witness Gaming. They've still got a sniper, too.
Yep, Smiles not able to find anything in that second fight. It's going to stay alive for mid, though, and Witness Gaming do have an extremely small ad to use, but it's kind of rough. You only got 1 scout, and you're not really quite sure how close Morning Light is, so would not be too surprised to see this stalemate out, and it appears that that is probably what is going to happen. Although, Morning Light, it seems like they just want to push off the fact that the other team has a sniper. They know it's relatively even, and they can find the space they need. Gonna lose Dingo right off the bat, though, which is not very good for them. Able to collect Walrex, and that could be nice, but Alpha falling in turn is going to leave things a little bit open for Witness Game to try to work their way through. They still have the sniper, but Exchange comes out over by the Pillballa area. They're bringing in Yosh to apply extra spam, and it seems like it's going to be a little bit of damage taken from both sides. Witness Gaming trying to flood through to find room for the sniper to be able to get picks. Kev and Aizen very, very low, able to collect the kill onto Sai, so that's a Doman down for the red team. Scrappy fight, everyone's basically split up. Aizen hasn't been healing anyone for so long, he will finally die. Got his way into the shutter, but not able to collect any of the kills of people that were chasing him. Kev trying to salvage, he will find his mark, existed behind this entire time, able to collect Rio too. So despite them losing their med, things are not all that bad. Yosh trying to work his way into lobby, gonna get a little bit pinched though from all the remaining red players alive, and it seems his attempt was for naught, as that is going to be 3 people down for Witness Gaming and a hole for the red team to work their way through into 2 here.
Yeah, this should be a second take for free from red team. I don't think there's much way you can hold with the sniper here. Alpha's trying to get the sniper, although we can't quite get him. Wow, down to about 10 HP is Smiles, and they're trying to hold this. Heals are up for Witness Gaming, so they're not giving this up without a fight. Rio's in on the medic and gets the medic on the back line, and he's still alive. Big play out of Rio. Can he kill Kev? Not quite, but it doesn't really matter. They've got Uber advantage, and then wow, everyone's going down. This is it. This is all she wrote. That's only Sai up. Somehow they defend second and end up taking the point and taking the game off of the 3rd seed. Potentially now the 4th seed, but huge upset from Witness Gaming. That is what you love to see. I love that aggression, holding second. They don't care if they have a sniper. They're more coordinated. They believe.
Yep, a very nice upset win coming out of Witness Gaming, taping this map finally against Morning Light. This is the first time they've taken a match against them, which is very nice for them. Unfortunately, it's not going to be quite enough to launch them into playoffs, but like you said, it will affect Morning Light's seed. This was a match that Morning Light wanted to win to 100% solidify themselves as the 3rd seed, but now fate is not necessarily in their hands, and they'll have to just wait with watchful eyes for what happens in the other matches to see if they land at 3rd or 4th seed for the playoffs.
So how does the RGL system actually work? I was seeing in chat someone was saying something about Wonderwall having a penalty, and the penalty counting for half of a match win or something like that. Because Witness Gaming, they will have the same record now since they did get that upset win. Maybe that upset, maybe the penalty plus their head-to-head victory might yield them a playoffs run? I actually don't know the technicalities. I'd have to talk to Maccabeus or something. Maybe we should get a post-game interview with the RGL admins or something.
As far as I know, it's wins and then rounds 4, and the deficit is too big for Witness Gaming to catch up, even if they won this match. It was how I understood it, but
But
who knows?
the wins will be even, and if the penalty actually counts as half of a win detriment, which I'm not sure it does, I don't actually know how it works, but I think it depends on how the penalty is actually implemented, because that could actually just give Witness Gaming more wins.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see what ultimately happens in terms of the league tables. If nothing like that does happen, then Witness Gaming can't make the run. But who knows? Things
I
can maybe
believe.
happen, and we'll have to see after all of the matches are like fully tallied. But at least for now, for this particular match, we can say that Witness Gaming did a very good job at taking the win versus Morning Light. This is their third win on a potential playoff level team, so a very good job for them. And last match of this regular season to boot is a very nice feeling, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's got to be a great feeling. And if you look at those stats, Smiles 26 and 15, Rio 26 and 17. I was saying that maybe the scouts had that potential. It's a new map. Alpha has been around forever, but it's sort of even playing field for Smiles versus Alpha, and clearly Smiles went huge. So great stuff out of them. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. That was very impressive. Kev getting ton of kills in the second half. Obviously, Kev had that crazy flank play again in the med, but yeah, Dingo going 11 and 22. Not the best second half performance. I guess his first half stats didn't really measure up when second half came around. So yeah, that was very impressive. I mean, I loved the coordination out of Witness Gaming. They definitely seemed like they were on the same page. Um, I think the new team out of Morning Light uh, definitely did not help. If you just get rid of your combo scout Sandblast that been playing with all season, you have a new guy come in. Kev's a great flank scout. He got those sick flank plays, and he seemed to get a lot of kills with the Ubers, but something just didn't feel right. I think maybe it was the main calling. Maybe they were missing the Sandblast main calling. Maybe it's just this isn't their map, but unfortunate to see. We'll have to see what the seeding is for Morning Light, because as you said before the game, if they lose this, which they did, then it's sort of out of their control whether or not they get third or fourth seed. So I think we have to see how the rest of these games play out and see if we see them playing Froyo or playing Korja on the first match.
Yep. It's not going to be too long until all of the matches are continued to played. This is the last regular season week of the season, so shouldn't be too long before everything's tallied. I'm not sure if the other matches were played tonight or if they're going to be played like early on the next week. But at the very least, we should know very, very soon, within the upcoming week, what is going to look like for the playoffs run. Um, but nonetheless, we can say that Witness Gaming gets one more win added to their board.
Even if they miss playoffs, they made it in my heart. I believe in them.
All right. Well, I'm waiting on to see if we have any interviews or not pending, but it appears that we probably aren't going to be getting anything for now. So at least from us, that is probably going to be it for this casted match. Bear, do you have any last minute shoutouts?
Not so much. I mean, shout out to Sandblast for watching the stream, even though he got cut. Feels bad, man, but you know, happens to the best of us. Shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to Dolphin for being the man with the production.
Yep, shout out to Dolphin and shout out for the teams for playing the whole RGL season. Whether or not one of these teams is making a playoff run or not making a playoff run. You need teams to be able to cast a season, so we thank all of them for participating. Whether or not we'll be seeing them in playoffs is yet to be seen, and we'll probably see when things are finalized eventually. But for us casters, that is pretty much it. We have no more matches to show you for the regular season, so you have to catch up what we'll be doing for the playoffs run later on in the month. But I'm Jarrett. I've been casting with Bear, with Dolphin on production, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out.